As a representative personage of classical music, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart had created astonishing amount of music, covering extensive subjects like opera, symphony, and sonata, etc. His music is full of magic, pure and energy, like the remarkable firecracker, always give people unexpected. Haydn wants to talk his father that, in front of the God and his honest man, your son is the greatest composer to me. He really has the taste. What's more, is the most profound knowledge of the composition. Now, I would like to leave all this basic knowledge alone and talk about something else.
Mozart really held a superpower, which is not rich and unreasonably handsome like the Arrowman, but the power to against the Lord and search for his true love. In March 1781, Mozart was summoned to Vienna, where his employer, Archbishop Colloredo, was attending the celebrations for the accession of Joseph II to the Australian throne. For Colloredo, this was simply a matter of wanting his music servant Mozart to be at hand. But Mozart was planning a bigger career. Even as he continued in the Archbishop's, Colloredo's wish to prevent Mozart from performing outside his own establishment was in other cases. The quarrel with the Archbishop came to a head in May. Mozart attempted to resign and was refused. The following month, permission was granted, but in a grossly insulting way. The composer was dismissed literally, with a kick in the eyes, administered by the Archbishop's steward, Count Orko. Mozart decided to settle in Vienna as a freedom performer and a composer. And there's one more thing I would like to talk about is Mozart really enjoyed the love. He once wrote a letter and said, "If I need to marry every single woman just because I flirt with them, now I will have 200 wives at least." Aloysia, who had earlier rejected our beloved Mozart suit, was now married to actor and artist Joseph Lange. And like most modern drama, Mozart's interest shifted to the third Weber daughter, Constance. But the courtship did not go entirely smoothly. Surviving correspondence indicates that Mozart and Constance briefly separated in April 1782. And Mozart faced a very, very difficult situation in getting his father's permission for the marriage. But it's a happy ending. The couple were finally married on 4th August 1782. Congratulations! But why Mozart held this kind of superpower? The first reason is because it was in the period of the French Revolution. The slogan was deeply rooted in the hearts of the people, and influenced by this, he thinks individuals should emancipated and everyone is equality. And here's the second reason. On 14th December 1784, Mozart joined the Freemasonry. He attended meetings and a lot of number of his friends were Masons, and on various occasions he composed Masonic music. At least as far as surviving Masonic documents can tell us, Mozart was very regarded by his fellow Masons. And during his visit to Vienna in 1785, Mozart's father, Leopold, also became a Mason. So, as we can see, Freemasonry really played an important part in the Mozart's life. So basically, love and religion ran through Mozart's opera creation all the time. We can see that Mozart's works are full of the desire for love and the profound influence of religion on him. Now, I would like to introduce two examples to improve that. The first one is the magic flute, and the second one I would like to talk about the Entführung aus dem Serail.
A boy named Prince Tamino ran through a dark wood, pursued by a dragon. Just as it raced up to devour him, three mysterious ladies appear and slay the dragon with their fierce battle cry. So begins Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's Die Zauberflöte, or the Magic Flute. This fantasy singspiel, a type of opera with music and dialogue, premiered in 1791 in Vienna. Though it may seem like a childish fairy tale, but this intricate opera is full of subversive symbolism and is now regarded as one of the most influential operas in history. The handsome Tamino ran in with the dragon is only the start of his magic journey. The three women know their leader, the Queen of the Night. She in turn sends Tamino on a quest to rescue her daughter Pamina from evil sorceress Ranstorm, and to help him on his journey, she gives him the magic flute. Tamino eventually finds Pamina at Sarastor's temple, but behind enemy lines, Tamino and Pamina learn that they are on the wrong side. The Queen of the Night actually wants to plunge the world into darkness. Everything Tamino thought he knew was wrong, filling him with doubt and confusion. So, a new quest begins for Tamino and Pamina. They must pass 3 trials of wisdom, and only then can they vanquish the night. Helped by the flute's magic power, the two youths overcome these trials, and the queen's attempts to sabotage them. They are finally initiated into the temple, having restored the balance of the kingdom.
Many elements in this peculiar fairy tale were inspired by Mozart's involvement in Freemasonry, a network of fraternal organizations throughout Europe. Much of their history, symbolism, and ritual came from the Middle Ages. But the Freemasons of Mozart's time were also influenced by 18th century European ideals, rationalism, humanism, and skepticism towards traditional authorities, like monarchy and the church. The symbols of Freemasonry and these ideals of the Enlightenment are found throughout the opera. If this sounds like a conspiracy theory, that's because it sort of was at the time, but is now taken most seriously, and has been the subject of considerable scholarly publication. For example, some Mozart scholars believe the Queen of the Night symbolizes Maria Theresa, the Empress of the Holy Roman Empire, who opposed Freemasonry and banned it in Australia. Well, there continues to be debate as to the specific meaning, interpretation, and the location of these Masonic references. Scholars agree that they are there and are fully intentional. One of these symbols is the number 3, which represented balance and the order to Freemasons. Now, the number 3 is of course, easy to find in any work of storytelling, but is particularly prominent in the magic flute. 3 trials, 3 ladies, 3 spirits, and 3 doors. Much of the music is written in E-flat major, which has 3 flights in its key signature. And historically, Masonic rituals began with 3 knocks. The opera references them by opening with 3 majestic calls, complete with dramatic pauses. Those calls, which reoccur throughout the opera, serve another purpose: to capture the dramatic arc of the opera in miniature. The first chord, E-flat major, is in its most natural root position, simple and unadorned. It echoes the childlike Prince Tamino, who in his naivete accepts everything the queen and her ladies say without question. The second chord is C minor, so sonority that mirrors Tamino's sadness and double in the middle of the opera. That's when his world and the nations of good and evil can turn on their heads, and good and evil are just 2 of the opera's extreme opposites. It features some of the highest and lowest notes in opera, day and night. Simple, humble melodies and complicated, forward-looking music. The opera's central theme concerns balancing these extremes to achieve perfect harmony. To reflect this, the final chord in the opening restores music order. It returns to the triumphant E-flat major, the same chord it started with, but inverted, meaning Mozart moved the bottom note to the top. Although it retains its original harmony, the chord sounds higher, pointing towards enlightenment. That's similar to Tamino, who, in passing his trills, restores balance to the kingdom, while growing stronger, wiser, and more complete.
So geht und sagt es ihr, ich schlag mit das Tier. Nein, das kann nicht sein. Ich schütze, ich bleib mit das ich schütze, ich bleib
let's take a quick look of the next opera, The Artificial Esteem Salary. Basically, this opera is written by Stephanie and composed by Mozart. It was first performed at the Burgtheater in Vienna on July 16, 1782. It is based on the legends of the 16th century. Like the most fairy tales, this story tells us a very handsome Spanish nobleman, Belmondo, who with the help of his servant rescues his parrot-captured lover, Constance, and made bloom from the palace of the Turkey. All the Mozart's work is about being human, which is the most important theme in his pieces. And the other thing is that the issues he's dealing with still live now, and there's no exception in this opera. Frankly, it is more like he put his own love story in this opera. Basically, his future wife's name is Constance, same as the main character in this opera. Parrot is his father, who didn't allow Mozart from marry her. And our beloved Mozart is the hero, Belmont, in this opera. Whether from the soprano area or the tenor area, we can feel Mozart's persistence in love, and he wants to overcome any difficulties to marry her beloved young lady. For example, the tenor area, Constance dich wieder zu sich, from the Act 1. It is the key movement both for Belmont and Mozart himself. His feeling the new never ever before his experience to emotions of love, and his recognizing these new emotions and totally unsure about himself. What are these emotions? Are they good for me? Oh no, I feel scared. Oh my god, I feel good again. He's traveling through these unknown emotions. Finally, in the end, he feels good, and he decides he wants to follow this feeling of love. Just like the first time when Mozart knew Constance, he totally fell in love with this lovely girl. So, let's listen to a clip.
Constanza, dich wieder zu sehen, klopft mein liebevolles Herz, klopft mein liebevolles Herz. Und des Wiedersehens lohnt der Trennung bangen Schmerz. Lohnt der Trennung bangen Schmerz. Schon zitter ich und wanke, schon zack ich und schwanke, schon zack ich und schwanke. Es hebt sich die schwellende Brust, es hebt sich die schwellende Brust, es hebt sich die schwellende Brust.
In summary, I hope you can have a better understanding of Mozart's opera after watching this video. Last but not least, while singing in opera, the technique is only the part of the skill. You still need to find out more information about the composer's background. Thank you.